sit down, let's talk. And out of the strength that I had so much, when I pulled her back, she sat and hit her head against the wall. And I don't know what happened. When she got up from the bed, I received multiple slaps. Yes, I didn't count, but I know there were multiple left and right slaps on my face. Yes, so I tried restraining her, and then she just got into a fit. Like some priestess.
This was a woman.
Yes, like some priestess in you know that when they get into that mood, I was struggling. So eventually, I was also so much, like, outraged because I didn't know what was happening. So when I realized, I saw three of a sharp rasta of the hair strands in my hand, meaning that like the struggle was crazy. Yes. So people started gathering. I was in the biggest hostel in UCC, gathering because the noise was getting loud. People started gathering around the room because it was banging on the door wanting to go out. So some guys who were on the same line with me came out, tried to find out what was happening. So they asked me to you open the door for her to come out. So I opened the door for her and she came out. When she came out, she left her stuff in the room. So when she came out of the room, she was crying and she rushed downstairs. So my friends, plenty people came around trying to find out what was actually happening. So my friends in my roommates, everybody came out like, what's happening? I'm like, oh, we're having an argument and it's turned into sort of a fight. So we're all standing there trying to de-escalate the matter. All of a sudden, I realized people were parting way, like the way the Red Sea was parted. People were just going side and side. And I saw her coming with an egg in her hand. Yes, she was coming with a white egg in her hand. She came at me, and then at a distance, she threw the egg at my feet. And then she said, no woman would. Up to today, I didn't get the end of what she said, but what I heard was, no woman would something. That's what she said to me after hitting the egg on my feet. So out of rage, I held her neck to the wall. I'm like, how dare you do this in this public place? How dare you do that? So I was also getting angry. After that time, I had her phones in my pocket. So I held her neck. So my friends also restrained because I was also angry. At that point, I didn't know what to do. I was just angry. So my friends held me back to release her. So she rushed into the room. And then she came, what she was coming to, some girls were trying to also tell, at least girls, oh, don't do that. Take your time. Everybody was just parting. She was coming again with a knife. And she came with a knife and she cut my hand with a knife. So when she did that, everybody just was taken aback. Everybody was shocked that what's happening. So
that got into that degree.
Yes. So that was the second cut. I'm like, what's happening? So I tried punching her because I didn't know what at all I have to do for you to see that I am trying to love you just like you also love me. Understand? So I tried punching her. So my friends held me, and she was like, no, she wants to leave. As at that time, it was around 10 p.m. Yes, I struggled for that long, and then she said she wanted to go to Accra that evening. So the lady whose shop she took the egg from also rushed up because when she came, she was like, she came for the egg and she didn't even pay. When she came, she was crying. So she just came, picked the egg and came out. And then brought the egg upstairs to come and do what she did with it. So she was also coming to find out what's actually happening. So she even volunteered to take her to her house. And then when in the morning she can go back to Accra. She said no, she'll go and yes, she wanted to go back to Accra at 10. And the next morning at 9:30 or so, I had a paper. The next morning, yes. So now we're all begging her to stay. Everybody was trying, oh, don't go, please don't go, oh, don't go. People were totally trying. Yes. So she went to stand by the roadside looking for a car. I went there with her. I went there with her trying to, beg. I was madly in love. Beg her, please don't go. I was virtually on my knees on the street, begging her, please don't go, please don't go. First of all, I was afraid that it's late. Anything can happen. Secondly, if she goes to Accra in that state, what do people think of you? What would you do? It can even turn to a police case. It's like violence. You've beaten somebody, but it's not the case. But then that's how it would look like. If she reports it to the police, they will definitely come for me. You understand? And I didn't want that kind of drama, so I begged her. My friends begged her, and then one roommate came. It was almost 12. We were still begging. One roommate came and told me that, okay, you know what, she wants to go, let's leave her to go. Because we've all tried to speak to her to stay and go the next, at least the next day. She doesn't want to go, so let's just leave her. So we were going in, and then one guy was coming. He went to learn, so he was coming back to the hostel. So when he got there, like, Ohima, I don't know, oh yes, so he tried talking her out of it, and then eventually, I don't know what happened. He managed to persuade her not to leave. So she came. And then that night, even my friends told me not to sleep on the same bed with her. Let her go upstairs. So I got an empty room where she was able to sleep. And can you believe that the next day she didn't leave? Yes. And she didn't leave until a month. I was there with her for a full month. Why? Because the next morning she came saying that, oh, I'm sorry for what I did. I'm sorry I didn't need to do that because I love you so much. I didn't need to. So I told her, okay, now, you know, tell me what makes you do the things that you do, so that maybe I won't do some things to get you to that state. So then she shared her story with me, saying that, you know, when she was a child, her parents didn't have enough time for her to not to say like they didn't take care of her, but they did, but they didn't have time to spend with her. So that kind of familial love, she didn't really get it. And then I was the first person giving her that kind of attention. I was like more like her dad, her mom, and her everything. So every little thing that I do, it really gets on her nerves and gets her to go into a fit, because she doesn't also want to lose the love that I'm giving to her.
But you don't do that.
Yes, and I'm like, yes, I don't cheat, I don't do anything. So if maybe somebody's, they are external forces, and I can't stop them. People have minds of their own. I can't tell my mother not to force and like you. Which does, I told her that these are external people. There's nothing I can do to get them to like you. They don't genuinely like you. So just, of course, I know that I'm helping you out, try to get over. Maybe I know you have anger issues, so I'll try and minimize things for everything to be okay. And you know, the red flags were becoming many. Friends were telling me, Charlie, break up with this girl. I just didn't know how to.
Because that was your first love.
Yes.
You were deeply in love.
Yes, so I honestly didn't know how to tell her off, or that you go, don't come into my life again.
I'm sure then she would have even killed you.
I was just afraid that she can just do something crazy, you know. So now that I have established the fact that this is why she's acting that way, I realized, okay, fine. Then I have to be a fool for you so that you won't get to that point. As at the time we were speaking, she wasn't talking to both her parents. Yes. So that's how come she came to live with me in the school for that long. So I decided, okay, fine, why don't we...
Were your parents aware that's what you
No, so they were not aware. So like, why don't we...
You were paying for them?
Yes, I was paying for food. That was my... I paid for the hostel, so I was food and everything. So I was like, okay, fine, why don't you let us reach out to your dad and then tell him that, okay, maybe, of course, you've been a prodigal daughter, so you are coming back home, so please let him accept you. So I sat down, I put my writing skills to the test, and then I drafted a letter for her. She added a few details that I wasn't aware of. So she added, her dad's something that her dad likes. So together we posted the letter, and I think a week or two she received a call from the dad saying that he had forgiven her whatever thing that was making them fight.
So she and her dad used to fight?
Yes, used to fight. So she then had to go home and she met the dad, and the dad started giving her stipend like every month. That gives her stipend so that she can survive because she wasn't working. So now the relationship was a bit financially stable because now she can be giving me take this, so she came back again. I was in the period then. She came back, and then I honestly, upon some sober reflection, and I was thinking of the fact that if even in marriage, this is how the relationship is going to be. So why don't I try and step aside I didn't know how I was going to do it, and this is a shocker part of it. It's came through her friend. So when she came the third time, she came with a friend, and she introduced a friend to me, and then I took the friend's number just in case. So they left together. So when they left, I don't know what happened. I started talking to the friend, trying to maybe establish some rapport with her, and then like you say, one thing led to the other, and then we ended up falling in love.
With her friend?
Yes, with her friend. Once I was in the relationship with her. So now, I think it got to a point, she came back and then she realized that there was something fishy going on between I and her friend. So, that night, wow, one of the nights I'll never forget. It turned into a fight. She actually took my phone and then she went through my phone, through my WhatsApp messages, and she realized that I was chatting with her friend and calling her love and baby, that kind of stuff. She got crazy. She told me that she had written a letter that should anything happen to her, you should hold me responsible. Letter to who? She had written a letter and given it to somebody in the neighborhood. That if she doesn't come back with kids, she should present that letter to the police. Premeditated, yes. Yes. So she was coming to actually tear the relationship apart so that we can be together. And I told her that right now, the way as things stand now, I don't think we can continue the relationship. And I don't know how to let her go, but I think that it has gotten to the point that we have to separate. It may be for a while. We just have to separate. She didn't want to understand. I spoke to her. She spent the weekend there, I tried to. She cried the whole weekend, and then she left. When I call her, she doesn't pick up. So normally she used to come to Cape every Friday. So that Friday she didn't come. The next Friday, I tried calling her. Friday she was going to come. I didn't hear from her. Saturday morning, I was there. When I knocked on the door, we opened the door. There's her face. She was looking so pale. Like she was like, I don't know what was happening to her. Very pale, and like the soft side of me was like, hey, somebody's daughter. So I brought her in, and then I tried talking to her to don't overwork yourself, because I'm thinking that we shouldn't do this again. But so don't take it too hard on yourself to injure yourself, because I was afraid that she might commit suicide. I was very afraid of that, because her brain, was not just accepting the fact that I didn't want us to do it again. And she said, if she doesn't have me, nobody else will have me.
She had kissed you already.
Yes. And she's like,
a very weird way.
Yes. I tried to break free from her, but then she wasn't understanding. So I told her friend that this is what is happening. Now she's trying to come back into my life, and then I don't want that to happen. So she told me the friend told me to just be avoiding her. So now I can just be there even during the week, and she just pops up in the school, coming to look for me. She'll be crying that she wants me back. No, don't do that. So at the point it was getting too much.
Were you guys apart at the time?
Say again?
Were you guys apart at the time?
Apart? No, she was in Accra and I was in Cape Town because I was in school. So she normally comes to visit me in school. So during the whole week, maybe we don't meet during the weekend. So sometimes just Wednesday she just come into the school, coming to look for me. She'll be crying, wanting me back. Right now, dear, from the way things are going, I don't think that we can ever meet again. So she tried to understand. She called the friend, insulted her, say, why are you taking my man, and all that kind of stuff. So one time I came to Accra. I was attending a funeral, so I came to Accra trying to attend the funeral and go back. But then she called me and I went to her house and then started chatting with the girl like it was me. Then I don't want you, I hate you, don't text me back. So I picked the phone and I wanted to leave. So while leaving, I was on the phone then. While going back to the to Cape Coast, I was late as well. I was short of 3 Ghana cedis. So I picked 3 Ghana cedis from her table in her room to add to my money to be able to get to school safely. I got to school around 2 a.m. Yes. That's how late I left Accra. So I got to school around 2 a.m. and then I was in the room. Fortunately for me, I realized that she was on my phone on Facebook. She logged in the Facebook on my phone. So when I picked my phone in the morning, she was texting somebody that I'm coming to people to come and do action. Yes.
On Facebook.
Yes. She sent someone a message. So I got scared a bit. And I knew that when she comes, she'll come and ask for the money. And I was out of cash. I was zero. So I went to a friend and told a friend, oh, give me 5 CDs. But during the week, I'll let my dad send money. I'll pay it. It was not a lady, so I took the 5 CDs from the lady, waiting for her to come, and then I'll just give it to, okay, this is your money.
Yeah.
So you can imagine it.
Yeah.
Somebody picking car from Accra, or more than 15 CDs.
Okay.
Yes, to come and take 3 CDs. So when the knock came, I told my roommates that this was happening. So I'm begging them to should just leave the room for me and let me deal with it. After that, they can come back. So I told them that, and then they all agreed. So they left the room. So when I heard the knock, I knew it was her. So I said, oh, come in. Open the door. When she opened the door, her first words, where is my 3 CDs? She didn't say good morning, good afternoon. She just said, where is my 3 CDs? I did behind my pocket and gave her the 5 CDs. This is your money. You keep the change. She said no. She gave me, it was a 2 CD note and a 1 CD note. So she wants the same thing. And to cut the drama, I didn't want to just go to the drama. I was like, fine. I went downstairs to go and change the, get small denominations. When I came back up, my laptop was gone. And I thought she was on the balcony, so I rushed to the balcony to find out if she was there. When I got there, I realized that she had descended the stairs on the other side. There are 3 exits. So she had taken my laptop and descended with it to another side and picked a taxi. I didn't want to shout Julop for there to be issues. So I just said, hey, stop her. For her to stop, for school to stop her. But she stopped the taxi, sat in, and she drove off. She made the taxi driver. So I called on phone. I told you, Polina, why are you doing this? You come. You said you wanted your money. I'm coming to give you money. Why are you doing this? That's what I said. She told me that no. What she would do is that she said, you show me how you graduate from school. Yes, I had my project work on that laptop. So she told me she was going to sell the laptop, take her 3 CDs out. This is not a lie. This is something that